Breaking news. The Senate has approved legislation to prevent future unilateral withdrawals from NATO. A bipartisan amendment to the National Defense Authorization Act, NDAA, that would prevent any future U.S. president from withdrawing the country from NATO was approved by a vote of 65 to 28 in the Senate. It was proposed by Senators Marco Rubio, R. Florida, and Tim Kaine, DVA, to ensure that the president would not suspend, terminate, denounce, or withdraw the United States from NATO without the approval of two-thirds of the Senate. All 28 Republican senators who voted no were from the same party. While most presidents, including Joe Biden, have seen close cooperation with NATO as essential, former President Donald Trump, who is also the leading Republican candidate for the 2024 nomination, has threatened to withdraw from the alliance on multiple occasions. Kaine tweeted after the vote, "America is strong on our own, and even stronger with our allies. The Congress supports this landmark alliance." Separately, a vote on an amendment to the defense spending bill related to NATO was defeated by a score of 16 to 83, with only Republicans supporting the amendment. Originally proposed by Senator Rand Paul, RKY, the bill would have stated that, "It is the sense of Congress that Article 5 of the North Atlantic Treaty does not supersede the constitutional requirement that Congress declare war before the United States engages in war." The principle of collective defense is enshrined in Article 5 of the treaty, which states that if one NATO member is attacked, all NATO members are attacked. After the 9/11 attacks, the United States used the article for the first and only time. However, last month, Republican South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham and Democratic Connecticut Senator Richard Blumenthal introduced a resolution to expand Article 5. The use of a tactical nuclear weapon or the destruction of a nuclear facility that releases radioactive contaminants into NATO territory would be seen as an attack on NATO by the two countries, necessitating a response under Article 5 of the North Atlantic Treaty. Senator Blumenthal and I feel obligated to warn the public that Russia poses a credible nuclear threat. Graham argued that preventing a nuclear strike by Putin's Russia could be accomplished by making the consequences of such an attack crystal clear. "Our message is for Putin and his inner circle. You can count on a strong reaction from NATO if you go ahead and obey his order, should he issue one. You and NATO are going to go to war." According to the New York Times, a government agency claimed in April that the United States was installing radiation detectors in Ukraine to identify the perpetrators of any nuclear or dirty bomb attacks. Democracy and Ethical Practices Manners blog. NATO now has 30 members after Turkey's approval of Sweden's membership. In April, NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg said, "Putin wanted less NATO along his borders. He is getting exactly the opposite. In the eastern part of the alliance, he is receiving more troops, more readiness, and more forces on land, sea, and air. And he's recruiting more followers." When Ukraine joins NATO, the alliance will have 31 members, up from 12 in 1949.